Redditors who have decided they don't want to have children. What is your reasoning? Serious. I had to raise my brothers. I got the free trial and want none of those things. Yep, same here. Raised my 2 younger sisters and my parents just can't understand why I'm not giving them grandchildren. Yeah, been there, done that. No, thank you. Hey, to add to my answer in this thread, I too looked after my little brother when he and I were younger. I'd do anything for him, don't get me wrong, but that's enough in my life. It's my belief that if you are going to have kids, you should love them unconditionally, no matter what. I have conditions. Yeah, the biggest thing that makes me question wanting kids was that I really don't think I could handle being a parent to a child with disabilities. I know I would regret having children if that was the case, and I feel like such a horrible person for thinking that way. I actually have the same fear and the same personal reaction to feeling that. I don't believe we are bad people, we just aren't the right people for that job. It takes a certain type of person to raise a child with disabilities, and I know for a fact I'm not one of them. It's just as understanding our limitations and not doing anything to hurt other people. I like to sleep, a clean house, and not having to be responsible for someone else's emotions. I can barely handle my own emotions. What would I do with a child that needs, well, whatever a young child needs? I can barely handle my own health. What would I do with a small spawn that needs 3 times the things I give myself? I believe that children are a very serious and irreversible lifelong commitment, and that the majority of society is wrong to consider them the default option rather than a conscious choice you make for good reasons. With that belief in mind, I simply have no compelling reason for why I should have children, and so I don't have them, because they should be an opt-in rather than an opt-out. Way too many people have kids simply because it's what you're supposed to do, without any second thoughts. Society is slowly moving past this mindset, but it's far from gone, sadly. That was my mother. She told me she had me because she wasn't sure what to do with herself, and having a baby seemed like the next logical step. I only exist because my mother didn't know what a hobby was. Simply put, kids annoy me, and I probably wouldn't make a good father. Same here. Worked at multiple summer camps and children's places. Did it for experience and thought it would be fun. Kids honestly hate me, and I'm fine with it. I've worked at a lot of camps, and kids generally love me. I love them too, but I wouldn't want to be a parent to any of them. That's an entirely different level of responsibility that does not appeal to me. I like coming home and being able to enjoy doing nothing. No reasoning involved. I knew I didn't want kids when I was 6. And 45 years later, I haven't changed my mind. There are several logical reasons I'd be a terrible parent, but bottom line, I'm not wired to find any aspect of parenting attractive or desirable. 45 years later, I haven't changed my mind. Do people still tell you that you will change your mind? I'm curious because I've said since I was 12 that I don't want kids. I'm nearly 30 now, and people still tell me I will change my mind. It stops at 40. Idiots finally realize you're serious. You'll look 15 years younger than the parents though. Haha. I have a load of supporting reasons, but the main overriding one is that I just don't want them. I think children should be wanted, not just a thing you do because that's what you do. For supporting reasons, I also am actively worried about the effects of overpopulation. Don't think I am the type of person or in the right situation to be a good parent, and don't really enjoy other people's children. 1. I don't want them. You'd think this reason would be enough. 2. Being pregnant doesn't sound like a good time. 3. I'm going to be 30 this year and have yet to experience being stable with my finances. I want to do fun things for me when I'm financially able to, not skip over me and go straight to the kids. 4. I have a nephew and I love him so much. Plus, I get to leave him after a few hours. As my stepmother and I always say, kiss them once when they arrive and twice when they leave. I intentionally stopped answering this question a long time ago. Nobody ever asks people who do want children what is their reasoning. I could give you any number of reasons ranging from My childhood wasn't that happy too. I just don't see my life panning out that way. But when you get right down to it, I just don't want to. And I don't understand people who do. I feel this is so hard. It's so difficult to explain to people that the lack of desire to have a child should be enough, even without justification. If I don't feel like I want kids, then I shouldn't have kids. I want to enjoy my life and be free. I have my money for myself and buy whatever I want. There are enough people on earth who want children. If everyone would have some, we would just overpopulate. However, I wouldn't say no to a partner, a girlfriend that accepts me the way I am and accepts my hobbies. Expensive, big commitments, restraining, extra anxiety, and why not have a dog or something? I like kids. I think they're cute. So I was like, maybe I really do want kids. Then I saw a dog and got 100% more excited than I ever am upon seeing a kid. I think that's a pretty solid sign. I don't think this messed up world needs more people. I don't like children. I don't see myself as a parent, and I don't think I'd be good at it. I don't want to give up stuff like traveling and to be responsible for another human who depends on me. B2W, I am 25. I hate hearing you'll find the right man to have children with. No, I won't. I never wanted kids and I never will. I don't like children. People with kids are like, oh, I don't either, but when they're yours, it's all sunshine and unicorn farts. But the same ones have dark circles under their eyes, hang out about once a year, and bring the screaming little jerks with them and constantly moan about how expensive children are. I like having a full night's sleep, my own schedule, and control over my own finances. Thank you. 1. Too many emotional problems. 2. Bad genetics for mental health problems. 3. Can't bear to bring an innocent child into such a horrible world. 4. I generally struggle with kids because I'm not good with messes, noise, or patience. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate kids, I'm just not good with them and find it extremely draining. 5. I don't want to be stuck giving all to the kids for 20 of the best years of my life. 6. Asexual. 7. I don't want to, and that's nobody else's business but mine. I don't see a reason to. I feel like this question is in the wrong direction. If you want to force another being into existence, you should have a good justification for doing so. I think the usual next response is, well, the human race has to continue, and it just becomes a lot of value judgments and posturing, which is fine. Nothing really matters anyway. Does the human race have to continue? I know that's not what you're saying, but that question can keep me busy for hours. Childbirth sounds so awful and I don't want to put myself through that. And I would feel personally responsible if my child inherited my mental issues. 1. I can't provide what's necessary for what psychologists call healthy development. 2. I don't believe any child should be forced into a world where they aren't financially secure. 3. I don't believe any human being should be forced into this cruel, painful, hopeless, and meaningless world. Even if there's a small chance that they'll be happy. An entire biased opinion, no doubt. The financially secure part of me, I love kids to death, and I'd love to have a family, but I just can't afford it. A comment I saw on Reddit summed it up perfectly for me as to why I don't want children. The moment you have a kid, your life is no longer your life. Like many others, I cannot see myself as a parent, nor do I think I have what it takes to be a parent. Plus, I don't think I'm responsible enough to be able to take care of another person, let alone a child. 1. I find children overwhelming with their constant need for attention and supervision. 2. Children are expensive to raise properly, and I would prefer to spend the money on a nice house, travel, and being able to retire early. 3. I want to be able to easily travel outside of school breaks. 4. I have a medical condition that is potentially heritable, that is extremely painful, and I do not wish it for a child to suffer from it. My grandfather also had it. Also, my family has a history of early onset of the condition in childhood, when usually it happens to people in their 20s to 40s. Kids should be opt-in, not opt-out. I have no interest in opting in. This fully resonates. I've never opted out. I just never decided to fully opt in. After one half-hearted attempt at a subsequent miscarriage, I am done. Love niece and nephews fully and completely, and am a good nurturer to them though. That's me, opt in as far as I'm concerned. I'm the oldest daughter of 5 siblings. Everyone knows oldest daughters get the responsibility of motherhood shoved on them from childhood. This was made especially true for me when our mother abandoned us when I was 11 and my younger sibling was 4. I've basically been a full-time mom since I was 11. It ate away at my teens, and it is now ruining my early adulthood. I love my siblings and would do anything for them, but I want the rest of my life to be my life. I don't think it's fair that I have to put everything that I worked for on hold to care for a baby. And when I tell people that I don't want kids and I'll be fine, they tell me, but who will take care of you when you're old? A nurse?